When firefighters arrived, 2 of their fire trucks were torched and 4 firefighters were injured. "13 innocent civilians were burned or stabbed to death in the riots. 56 cars were damaged or burned. Dozens of public security officers and scores of armed police were injured, 10 in serious condition. Rioters have set fire to over 300 sites and burned down over 200 residential houses and shops." After the riots began, party and government officials of the Tibet Autonomous Region reacted quickly. They deployed the police to disperse the violence and firefighters to put out the fire and evacuate those trapped inside burning buildings. The wounded were rushed to hospital for treatment. Local authorities say more than 580 people have been rescued by the armed police, including 3 Japanese tourists, as well as teachers and students in a primary school and a middle school. There were no foreigners among the casualties. In the handling of the incident, China's public security and armed police have exerted the highest restraint. They did not use any deadly weapons, not even when their own lives were threatened. Some riot police were cornered and beaten. Others were stoned. Armed police on duty outside the gate of the Rinpoche temple were surrounded and attacked by rioters. None of them fired on their attackers. One day after the riots, vehicles were restricted from entering the city's main roads. But the streets were still littered with rolled-over cars, burned motorbikes and bicycles, and smoldering reminder from violence from the day before. Local officials in Tibet say there is plenty of evidence to prove that the incident was masterminded by the Dalai clique.
达赖集团利用各种手段向区内联系，同时通过各种渠道向区内发指令，也通过各种渠道煽动和蒙蔽不明真相的群众，参与到这次的少数人引起的大砸抢烧活动。这就充分证明达赖集团一直在从事着破坏祖国统一、搞西藏独立。
非常气愤。
我的心情是非常沉重的，这些少数分裂分子，就你看吧，这都是他们搞的这个破坏活动，就这都是我见证。你看好日子不过，就这样。你看该该小孩上学的也不让上，该正常的上班也不能上班，我好什么破坏到我们的好日子。
这个很多人呢，定得甚至郎呀，送他定得穷人呢，我呢，我让对人呢。我会他这个钱人，那到还是他就拿过来拿人下死的，你明码给人钱多的，几多个店家个钱多的，每家恐怖机构个钱多的。
Many places were attacked and burned down to the ground. The youth road in the downtown area suffered the most.
"一声巨响之后呢，马上就从那个浓烟大得很，速度而且非常快的。我那个大叔当时就是刚才躺着的那个嘛，他一下就跳到从2楼跳到下面去，就叫我们，他说钱什么都不要了，他说只要顾生命就行了，你们跳下来嘛。他说快点跳，我们接到那种情况，玻璃全部打碎了，我就往窗户看一下，那个浓烟大得很。
Peng Xiaobo's 4 shops were all set on fire. His family had to jump down from the 2nd floor in order to escape. His wife hurt her back during the jump. But the worst was yet to come.
还有个妹妹，只有去年12月份嘛，18岁，她从来没出来的过的，不知道怎么跳，她以为还从那个 他2个明面嘛，只有下面那个就可以，那个楼梯都全部烧了。他是外面又不敢跳，他就走到那楼梯去，可能是那个楼梯一踩就断了，就双手爬在那个上面，下半身在下面就被活活的烧死了。我听到这个。
18-year-old Chen Jia came from the southwestern province of Sichuan. Last Friday, the clothing store in Lhasa, where she and 5 other girls worked, was targeted by rioters. The door of the store was destroyed. Trapped inside, the 6 girls were forced to flee to the 2nd floor. In shock, Chen Jia sent a text message to her father saying, "Dad, the rioters are very brutal. We are hiding in the store and don't dare to leave. Don't worry about me. You tell mother and sister not to go out." Several minutes later, the store was set on fire. 5 of the girls were burnt to death. The father is heartbroken.
我那个丫头在走廊上很听话，都比较喜欢她。
Chen Jia, Ciren Zhuoga from Sikatze, Yang Dongmei and Liu Yan from Sichuan, and Han Xinxin from Henan were all burned to death. Zhuoma was left shocked at being the only survivor. Days after the violence, Zhuoma still can't accept that her friends are no longer here.
但真的，我从来没想到会那个样子的。早上我们还在高高兴兴的在这里上班，突然一下变成那个样子，真的我都不敢想象。但是我很想给大家、给那些犯罪人说，你们为什么要杀那么多无辜的人？
Violence in Lhasa broke out on March the 14th and took a heavy toll of innocent lives and property. Businessman Wu Guanglin can't forget what he and his son suffered that day. Rioters targeted him and his 6-year-old son. They stamped on the little boy's chest, sending him into shock.
就是因为气，
那个轮胎，他们隔壁那个是轮胎吗？
成功的成，
成功的成，
对
对。
成功的成，安全。
我就找啊，我到处找，最后怎么脚上把它踩住了？我小孩衣服鞋都没有。快点！
Wu Guanglin stopped an ambulance and doctors gave his son first aid. But the ambulance was targeted shortly after driving off.
孩子才6岁多啊，真的，我心里难过啊，我真的难过。他们连医生砸，医生求他们不要砸，那大的石头、铁棒啊砸，他们叫我不要起来，一定要我死活都按到小孩身上，那小孩那个素养那个都砸开了，心里难过。在医院里面抢救了2天，小孩抢救过来，还有那个叫洛茨医生，我也去看了他2次，我说没怎么说，他说这是我的职责。
Wu Guanglin says he will always remember the Tibetan doctor. Ciren Lobsang risked his life to rescue the boy. Lobsang is still recovering from his wounds at Lhasa's People's Hospital.
就碰到那些爆破，当时我们就说我们是医务人员，但是他们什么都不管，就直接砸我们的车，打我们的人。
Local authorities took control of the situation shortly after the violence broke out. They also took effective measures to restore peace and order. Local residents also volunteered to clear away debris and clean up the streets.
我们组织签订了准备充足的物资，接待呢在西藏这个期间非常时期，一个呢不断弹不断货，老百姓呢过上一个平稳的生活。再一个呢现在呢我们正在采取坚决的措施，那么呢进行对这些首要分子进行抓捕归案。
By Wednesday, more than 150 rioters had turned themselves in to police and handed over what they had looted. In downtown Lhasa, the shells of stores and homes can be seen everywhere. But as people start putting things back together, the city is on the way back to normal.